Let's work on that booty. This thing except for using the hot water so I can make my instant coffee. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. We've got our beautiful coffee here, so we're all ready to go into my tips for the day. 5 exercises I think you should be doing. Now, these can be done at home, body weight, with dumbbells, with resistance bands, and then they can also be taken to the gym. Okay, so let's get into the 5 exercises. Number 1, we're going to start with chin-ups and pull-ups. These are pretty much the best back exercise you can do. The main focus of these exercises is obviously to work your big back muscles, more specifically your lats. But the aim of these is to increase the muscle mass of this area, the broadness of your back. So out here, and what this can do is give you the illusion of a smaller waist, so winning both ways. Now, not everyone is able to do chin-ups, and that's more than okay. If you have a long resistance band, you can always try that for assistance, or do jumping chin-ups where you jump to the top point of your chin-up and slowly control yourself down, also known as negative chin-ups. If this is still too hard, you can always do a bent over row. These do target slightly different muscles, so your lats are still working, but more specifically your rhomboids are. Number 2, we're going to talk about squats, but more specifically, let's talk about single leg squats or pistol squats. These are mainly focusing obviously on all of our leg muscles, so our quads, our glutes, our hamstrings, even our calves. Single leg squats or pistol squats are so important, especially for stability and any imbalances you may have. These work your whole legs, your quads, your hammies, your glutes, even your calves, and your core is also working hard to help maintain control of the movement. Now, pistol squats do require quite a lot of initial strength, so these are more of an intermediate to advanced exercise. But there are variations to help you do these. Start by sitting on a bench or chair and standing up on one leg. And try to go lower the next time you do these. Simple. Another great variation is to just rest your other leg on the toes, and this will help you perform the actual movement but takes out the balance involved. Okay, so we have done back, legs, let's do a bit of chest. So a push movement. What's the best one for that? Push-ups, obviously. Push-ups predominantly work your chest, so your pecs, and your triceps are assisting. And again, your core is there to help maintain your form and control of the movement. Now, shoulders are working as well, but depending on the variation of push-up will depend on the amount of recruitment of shoulders or deltoids used. For example, if you were to do a pike push-up, as you can see here, I am definitely working more of my shoulders than I would a normal push-up. Not everyone can do a push-up, and that's okay. Start against a wall, move to a bench, then a chair, a couch, and keep going until you can manage to do it on the ground. Try to avoid going on your knees, as it is important to practice the whole movement rather than just the upper body aspect. Your whole body is needed for these. This brings us to number 4, glutes. let's work on that booty. Two of the best isolated glute movements to do are hip thrusts and bridges. Yes, squats are fantastic at working your glutes, but just doing them is not always enough if you are wanting to grow them. The main difference between the two is just the position of your upper back. Hip thrusts have your upper back against a bench, and bridges have your back on the floor. What this does is change the range of motion possible. If you have a bench, I would suggest trying to do the hip thrust, as you are able to get a greater stretch in your glutes as they can go lower. For hip thrusts, what is important is that your legs should be at 90 degrees at the top point of the thrust, and to make sure that you maintain your chin being tucked in. By tucking in your chin, you are encouraging a posterior pelvic tilt, which protects your lower back, and it also helps you to engage your core. This also protects your lower back. And this brings us to number 5, side planks. These work your obliques, but really your whole core, your transverse abdominis, which crosses across the whole front and side of your stomach, is working. This does also work your legs and your upper body, as you are having to obviously hold yourself up. These can even help you with lower back pain by strengthening your core muscles without putting strain on your back. These are quite a challenging core exercise, so maybe just start off with something like 15 seconds each side and continue to increase the time the next time you do them. And they are my 5 top exercises that I always try to incorporate in my workouts. Now, this doesn't mean every day I try to do them. I will just try to make sure I've hit them at least once a week. Now, remember guys, it doesn't mean you're going to lose fat on those areas you are working on. We cannot spot reduce. The only way to reduce fat is by being in a deficit, whether that be that you are exercising more, eating in a deficit, so eating less than usual, or both together. That is the only way to really lose weight. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you guys next week with some more tips and exercises.